So, continuing off from part 2, all I'm going to do is basically save out the file that I've got. I've only done the front, left, right sides of them, so I still have quite a bit of work to do around here. Obviously, I just added a gray background just to distinguish what was not being, that has not been textured yet. It gives me a little bit easier visual representation as far as what I can see and cannot see. When I go back to open this file, it'll be a little bit easier for me. I know I need to get this area and this area, obviously the entire back of the head and the side and things like that. But for the most part, the face here, this general area is where I was most concerned about, is basically all set, give or take. I mean, it could use some tweaking here and there, but for the most part, it's ready to rock. So what I'm going to do from this point on is I'm going to save out this image and go in here and save this image out, and instead of saving it out as a PSB, I'm going to save it out as a TGA, and I'm just going to go ahead and name it face texture diffuse or something, face diffuse, 32 bits, and go ahead and click OK. And now here in Maya, the real only way to, I mean, you get a pretty good visual representation of what it looks like in Photoshop, but it's not the same as actually looking at it in the actual 3D file. So from here, assign new material. Okay, and blend. Go here, file, face diffuse, go ahead, click open, and where I'm at so far is up to here. Now a couple areas I'm going to need to fix. For now it's okay, but just so a reference for later, right here on the edges of the mouth it'll start to look wonky if I keep that part there. Another thing, for the most part it's starting to really look like a face. So I'm mostly concerned about the actual face here. I can go back and find other references. I'm not too concerned about this ear not being on the ear yet. That would be another pass. But mostly for the face is what I was mostly concerned about. Now I still have some areas that need to be touched up, but as a first pass this is pretty good. So right here I need to clean up this area. It's giving it self shadow and I don't want that self shadow on there. Other than that, I could lighten the face here on the sides if I decided I wanted to keep any of this. And the hair texture I would just leave on there. I would add hair later, but this gives me an idea and of where the hair will be on the actual mesh, and sort of like a template for when I add the hair later. So that's what we got right here. And then the last thing obviously is just if you're using like a Fong or a blend as your texture, as your material, make sure you bring down the reflectivity because his face isn't going to reflect. You can also bring down the, you would generally do a spec map for this to highlight what you want it to be shiny and whatnot, because otherwise it just has this plastic look to it, like it's like a toy or something. So I brought it down just for the time being. And the last thing you want to do is just render settings. Give yourself, the real true test is to see what it looks like rendered. Obviously it's not complete, but it'll be good enough for the time being to get a sense of the direction of what's working and what isn't working on this particular texture file. So let me go ahead and just get rid of my reference images that I used to model this. Layer, create layer from selected. Okay, and now let's run a new render. Render current frame. And it's starting to look pretty good. It's actually looking like a real face. So for the time being, this is an excellent start. It needs a lot of tweaking and obviously to be totally finished, but we have something that works pretty well up to this point. Thanks for watching. That's all I got. You just have to continue and repeat this process to get a finished look that you like. Enjoy.